Ladies and gentlemen, joining me today is Abe Gurko, writer, actor, event planner, political strategist. I mean, Lord, I read your bio. Is there anything you're not involved in?
Ballet. I don't know. No, I try to be a person of the world. I try to be as informed in as many areas as possible and make impact whenever I can. Politics is very important. Entertainment is really important. I'm a storyteller by trade, by nature. And yeah, we're here for such a short period of time. I want to be aware of other people's thinking so I can know how to get ready for when there's like a battle of the wits, like in the minute
Yeah,
that we're in
right.
right now.
In full disclosure, folks, Abe and I just met. He heard about Israel Appreciation Day, wanted to be a part of it. Because the truth is, Abe, right? Nobody's telling the Israel story in his country and how amazing Israel is. So, how do you explain? It's like a blind man. How do you explain what sight is to a blind man? How do you explain Israel to someone who's never been there and probably is never going to be there, yet is pro-Israel, but needs more connection to understand everything that makes Israel so special?
The miracle of Tel Aviv, let's just start with that, is I live here in California. Everyone kind of thinks about Venice Beach as being this cool, kind of laid back. Tel, Tel Aviv is a more sophisticated version of Venice Beach, only cooler and more energetic because Israelis are so full of life as a
Right.
people, right? And what's incredible about because to me the best part of Israel is when you're walking like when I first got it, my first time I went to Israel, and I was walking on the beach in Tel Aviv towards the old city of Jaffa, and it was before a lot of it had been built up, and it's almost like this is where Jesus walked, man. It's almost like you don't have to be Jewish to understand the history that you're standing on. It erupts under you. You feel something that you don't feel walking in New York City, which is where I'm a refugee of. So the energy of the state of the country itself, Jerusalem. You look at how old it is, and it's unfathomable that so much of life has been lived there, so much tragedy and horror, and there is this total sense of life and joy. You don't get that in America.
I hadn't quite thought about it like that. And maybe you're right. Maybe it is dealing with the adversity that gives them such a joy of living because they have such a greater appreciation for it than we do here. I guess that's what comes when you're surrounded by enemies since you're the day you came into existence. But I do want to segue to the technology aspect. And I know that you're in the arts part, not the science part. But I mean, to me, when I look at Israel, I mean the technology is just so amazing. And so under the radar because people here don't understand that everything from waste to water comes from Israel or water technology, right? I mean,
Oh yeah, actually, I just there's an Israeli gentleman who actually lives in Beverly Hills now, but he's Israeli. He's in the tech business. His name is Dovie Francis. I just edited his book, and it's fascinating when you look at his life coming from nowhere to how he entered into an industry that is like so of the moment, and he is so involved with making sure that Israel is not looked as the city from that's still the next growth is through AI. Like there is this huge push towards that industry in Israel. And I think that that's one of the things that is funding this campaign that I'm involved with here in California is through AI because
hmm,
it's a very California thing, right? And
right.
it's part of as many people feel like, oh my God, it's going to steal the jobs. It actually isn't. It's going to create a whole new level of employment that we just haven't figured out yet.
And it comes down to sort of the connectivity between the people and the land, right? And it's the joy that we just really don't see here. And it is something so special that until you're there and you experience it, it's hard to really get people to see that, right?
It's it's indescribable, and even people that I know that would never have otherwise gone to Israel. Like my friend, when he was when the ballet company from Frankfurt went to Israel, he even says that week we were in Israel was like unbelievable. You know, he wasn't there on a mission to go to Israel.
It's life changing.
Yeah, anyone that doesn't get it, you know, that you can save.
Right? I mean, exactly. I mean, that's our job, right? Is to celebrate and to elevate Israel for people who have never going to be there and they're never going to lay eyes on it. And it's such a special place. And it's not even just to communicate, it's we become ambassadors to Israel to help people who have never been there understand the magic and the special of it. And that's why someone like you becomes so important in this because you're not involved in the politics of it. You're involved in the love of Israel, and it's that simple, right?
And I'll tell you, the other thing that was interesting being part of the World Zionist Congress was when you're in the room when they're voting on the resolutions, which it's like, this is what democracy looks like. You're not getting that in the Middle East anywhere else.
You know, Abe, this has been great. I really appreciate spending a few minutes with you for the Wall of Unity for Israel Appreciation Day. It really is about putting aside all our differences and coming together to celebrate and to elevate and to educate all that's special about Israel. And no one does that. Very few do that better than you do. Thank you.